What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you guys can tell from title and thumbnail, something very expensive did happen to the Coyote swap. I wouldn't say I wasn't expecting it, right? But I wasn't expecting it to happen in this fashion. Long story short, the heater core went out on the car and it started puking. Like, I'm talking about puking its guts out, coolant everywhere. That ain't no good. That sucks. Now, as you guys can tell, it was puking out of the AC drain. I didn't know. I haven't drove the car in a couple months, right? And I was like, man, I just want to take the car out for a drive and pull it out. And I go to close the bay door, and there's just a puddle of coolant of where the car was. So my first instinct was, I look at the tire pattern where the car was. It was like right dead smack in the center. So I'm like, dude, water pump went out already? Crazy, right? So went, started inspecting around the timing cover. Couldn't see nothing. Looked under the car to see if it was dripping, because it was a puddle, guys. Like, it was like a puddle this big from the car running for maybe 10 minutes. And I start looking around. I get underneath the car, and there's coolant dripping off of the header. Now, before, whenever I first started to get the swap going, it was dripping off of the header. And when I started inspecting, it was the heater core lines where the hoses bolts onto the heater core. So I thought, okay, maybe those hose clamps came loose or something. And so I started wiggling them around. Nothing, couldn't see nothing. Upon further inspection, I looked down into the AC drain, and it is puking its guts out of the AC drain. Absolutely wild. So I'm like, okay, that's the heater core. Go inside, pull the carpet, and it is dripping out of the HVAC box pretty bad onto my floor. So, man, it blows my mind that it goes from not leaking, not seeping, not anything, to one day I turn the car on and now it's blowing coolant out. It blows my mind, man. And love of the game. This is what we do for cars. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, I am not pulling the dash on this car. I drove the car a little bit whenever it was a little cold outside this year, you know, and it was awesome. I had the heat on the floor, and it was awesome, but not $1,200, $1,500 awesome. Not to mention, I really don't trust anyone to do the job, really, and it's a pretty extensive job. I don't want them to break my blend doors on the inside of the dash. I can go without heat, man. It's probably cold for maybe 2 months out of the year here. I can go without the heat in that car, specifically that car, because I don't drive it all the time. The only thing I am worried about is not having that heated defroster whenever the windows get fogged up and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes, man. I picked this up. Picked this up on Amazon. Little heater core bypass, literally 15 bucks, and it's gonna get us back on the road. I believe one is a 5/8 end and the other one is 3/8, I believe. I'll put the specs, and if you guys need this, or if you guys are thinking that your heater core is gonna go out, I'll put a link in the description of what I got. But this one actually is pretty cool because it is a U, right? The one that we need. But it also comes with 2 other fittings. So if you have both small fittings, you could throw the small fitting on there. If you have 2 big 5/8 fittings, you could put the 5/8 on there. Mine is 1 small and 1 big. I believe it's 5/8 and 3/8. I'll put the correction on screen if I'm wrong. But yeah, I mean, all we gotta do is throw that on there, and we'll be set, man. We'll be good to go. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't be mad, bro. I actually even laughed. You know, I kind of chuckled a little bit, like, damn, like, that thing is puking pretty bad. Because, dude, it's a 1996 OEM heater core. I know for a fact it's an OEM heater core. You can only be so mad, you know what I mean? The thing lasted 30 years. Absolutely wild, man. So let's get this thing fixed today, man. Let's go on a little cruise. It's been a while since I drove the car, and it did puke a lot of coolant. So I'm probably going to drain the rest of the coolant in the radiator, vacuum fuel the system. I'll show you guys how I do that. And because this truck actually, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. If you guys don't want to hear me ramble, click on the next video. This is a rambling video. This truck actually was overheating whenever I got it, and take 5 did the coolant change on this truck, and they used some regular coolant, so I drained the, it was always getting hot, wasn't overheating but getting super hot. Drained all the coolant, used my vacuum fill method. Now the truck is running awesome, man. So get you guys a vacuum fill tool, man, and it absolutely helps you 1000%, man. It paid itself off in the first couple of uses. It is freaking awesome. So yeah, let's get to the shop, man, fix that up, and then go cruise the car, man. I'm excited. It's been a while. Look at this thing, bro. Still leaking. Absolutely wild, bro. Pouring coolant out of there. So let's throw this bypass on there. Hopefully it works good. All right, now I don't actually know how much coolant is in here, and this is gonna be super tight in here, as you guys can tell, so I might have to shove it down there. But let's see how much coolant leaks out of these things. Hope not a lot. And I hate doing this. The whole reason I left the heater core together is because I just like the fact that the car is OEM as possible. It has all of the power steering, it has AC. It's just a super fun street car. That's the whole reason, guys. I wanted to keep everything there. So it absolutely sucks super bad that I have to get rid of the heater core now. But it is what it is, man. And no coolant. That's awesome. Tie that up there. And this is a small one, so yep, that one's stuck on there. Okay. And there is freaking water in that one. Dang it. Okay, let's see how this is gonna work. See if it fits at all. This is the small one. Ugh. This is the big one. That's pretty much how it's gonna route, man. But now it's super long, as you guys can tell. So I don't know if this thing is gonna, I'm gonna have to shove it down there, because I am not gonna cut these hoses. I made them super nice, and I don't want to cut them. So let's see if they'll route below the motor. That is ugly, man. Dang it. That is freaking ugly. We're gonna work on something, but it is a super tight fit, so it should work. I'll get back to you guys. All right, guys, I can deal with that. If you don't know what you're looking at, you can't tell even those are coolant lines, and they're running all the way in the back of the motor. So it looks good. I just need to cap off those heater core lines now. And so we're actually going to fill the cooling system, because I know it probably went super low. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I do have a radiator style cap, inline cap here. Let me pull this off. I guarantee you that there is no water in this radiator hose because of how much it leaked. So I would be stupid of me not to refill it. Yeah, it's pretty bone dry. So, and with this radiator setup that I have, you absolutely pretty much have to vacuum fill the system to get it full. And then yeah, we'll do that. I'm actually gonna blow out that heater core, see if I can get any water out of it, just so it doesn't continue to drip on my floor. All right, guys, totally forgot to record, but I got the kit out, pulled a vacuum on the system. It's pretty cool, man, because you could actually, it sucks down all the radiator hoses and everything. So you can, it actually pressure tests the system, because if it leaks, it won't be able to hold a vacuum. So pull the vacuum on it, let it sit for a little bit. It didn't leak on the gauge, so turn on this valve here, and it literally just uses the vacuum and sucks up the rest of the coolant. And now the radiator system is full. Don't have to heat it up, don't have to wait for the thermostat to open, and all of that, man. Car is filled up, ready to rip, ready for our first drive. Boys, That's all she wrote. Heater core is blocked off. Car is back running. No more leak. No more leak off the header. That's what we want to see. I knew it, man. I knew it was the heater core as soon as it was pouring out of the drain, and then also it was blowing into the car. I knew it. So let it get up to temp right now. I'm gonna put one of the fans inside the car because the carpet, that insulation underneath the carpet got all freaking wet. So I'm gonna let that run on there for probably a couple hours while I'm gone. But yeah. All right, guys, we went out for a drive. This was about last week, and this is what happened when we went out for our drive. Not one, but two belts. It flung both of the belts, and today we're gonna be solving this issue. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I just wanted to show y'all how we fixed the heater core. We fixed the car, got it back on the road, and then we broke it again. This is gonna be a separate video in its own because PBH's supercharger solution, it has its flaws, man. So I need to make a whole video on itself. I got the cure for it, and I'm about to film that video right now. But that's gonna be it for today's video, man. Y'all are gonna have to tune in for the next one. I just want to put this video out there for other people that are dealing with the same supercharger issue, and I know it's a main issue because there's 4 other guys, including myself, that are having this issue with the tensioner and flinging belts and everything like that. And we're only on 8 PSI, so yeah, that definitely has to be addressed. So if you guys enjoyed this video, man, I greatly appreciate it. It's your boy ReyesBuilt. See you guys on the next one, man. Peace.